Let's talk about the hidden costs of neglecting relationships on the road to success. Imagine this, you are pressing towards your goal, but you neglect friends, family, birthday parties, dinner parties, family vacations as you press towards your goal. And then when you hit the finish line, you realize there's nobody there to celebrate with you. Was it worth it? Was the risk worth the reward? When you was in the thick of it, when you was in the gym, when you was doing the work, when you was staying disciplined. I'll take myself for example. I am currently doing something similar to that. Right now, I'm working on my business and building up this happiness blueprint program. As I build this education business, I have been neglecting birthday parties and dinner parties and family vacations and things like that. But I know that this is temporary. I'm trying to be self-aware and know that this is not sustainable. So if you find yourself in a similar situation, I would encourage you to cut it short or to be self-aware and to have certain checkpoints and milestones that when you hit this milestone, now you can slow down and re-engage with family and friends. Because life is about people. It's not all about you. It's not all about me. Life is more fulfilling when you share with other people. We humans are social creatures. Look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Once you have your basic survival needs and your safety needs, the next thing is social and relationship needs. We need each other. No one person can do everything on their own. And I agree with Simon Sinek when he talks about at the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is self-actualization. We need to have more group actualization. We have enough self-help books. We need more help each other books. We need more motivation to help each other and not be so individual and inward focused. Life is a gift and it's meant to be shared with others. In this video, I want to talk about some of the biggest pitfalls of being too hyper-focused on achievement, why you feel so lonely and void inside, and how you can fix it. If you're new here, my name is Devin and I'm the author of The Happiness Blueprint for Young Adults. How to avoid a life of regret by using your natural personality as a guide. And if you want to avoid a life of regret, you're going to have to learn how to use your personality and have to learn balance about life because life is about people. It's not all about you. One of the biggest pitfalls is that some people look at their life achievement as a finish line. It's like going up a mountain. Once you reach the top of the mountain, what else is there to do? And then you feel empty. Look at some of the richest people, some of the people that you would look at and think, oh, they have it all. Fame and fortune. Why are they so depressed? Why are they strung out on drugs? Why are they so negative? You have it all. Well, a lot of times they feel empty because they don't have anybody to share their success with, or the people around them, they don't know if they are around them because they want them or because they want what they can give. Like if people are around you for the money or for the attention, not being around you because they care about you. Life is a continuum. It's not a finish line. There's always more to do. You always want to have another goal. You always want to have something else to reach towards. So what can you do about it? I want to encourage you to shift from selfish goals and have more selfless goals, service-oriented goals that other people can benefit from, a win-win situation. Ask yourself, what is something that you're currently working on that can benefit yourself and others at the same time? Everything you do in life will have more meaning when you can translate it into, I'm doing this thing to benefit another person. I was listening to, there was a rapper, I think his name was Loon. He used to be with Bad Boy and them, but then he converted to Islam. And I remember watching one of his interviews talking about how he had bought all of this stuff. And when he was in the house by himself, this stuff didn't mean nothing to him. But when he had his friends and stuff and guests come over, he wanted to show it off and share this with everybody else. When you have something or when you do something and it's for your own selfish reasons, compared to when you're doing something to benefit other people, it has a bigger meaning, it has a bigger purpose, and you feel more fulfillment behind it. For example, I make these YouTube videos not only for myself, but also for you to benefit from. I started learning about personality types for myself initially, but I was able to help a friend the other day by using what I learned about cognitive psychology, the 8 cognitive functions and 16 personalities, being able to use what I learned about personalities for myself, but being able to help them to use it as well. So me making these videos, it's not only for me, but it's also for you. Think of a time when you did something to help somebody else. Did you help an old lady with her groceries? Did you help somebody push their car when they broke down in the middle of the street? Have you ever given to the homeless? Remember how you felt when they responded with so much gratitude and joy. Think of those times when you did something for somebody else and how it made you feel when they were grateful. Contribution leads to sustainable happiness and long-term fulfillment. Because when you're working on your goals just for yourself, at some point it'll be over. But when you're working on goals for other people, you'll never run out. Another thing to avoid is neglecting those difficult conversations. Those difficult conversations, try not to avoid them too much and put them off, because there are very few things that improve by being avoided. For example, I had a friend who used to buy me seltzer water. Years ago, they thought that they had gave me a can of seltzer water, and I took a sip of it and I set it down. I didn't like it, but I never told them that I didn't really like it. And for years, whenever we would link up, they'd be like, "Oh, I got you your favorite. I got you some seltzer water." And I hate seltzer water. I don't like seltzer water. Until finally, years later, I finally told them. They was like, "Oh, Dave, hey, I got you your favorite." And I was like, "I'm sorry. All of this time, I don't like seltzer water." And they was like, "Why ain't you been telling me that? I've been spending money and getting you these cases of water, and all of this time you should have been told me that." I was avoiding having those difficult conversations. I was telling what they call a little white lie, trying not to hurt their feelings. But if I would have just told them years ago from the beginning, we could have avoided all of this mess for all of this time. So try not to avoid having those difficult conversations. You might be surprised that their reaction might not be as bad as you thought it would be. And then you come out the situation and be like, "Man, that wasn't that bad. What was I so scared of? We should have been had this conversation." This skill of having difficult conversations builds trust and connection. Having difficult conversations is not something that we are taught enough in life. At least I wasn't taught about it. We didn't learn about it in school. It's something that you're going to use all the rest of your life. In school now, let me ask you this. Between trigonometry and having difficult conversations, what skill do you think is more useful? Of course, having difficult conversations. Learning the skill of having difficult conversations is very important to learn. Ironically, another way to build trust is to ask for help. Instead of constantly giving people advice and giving people help, there's no vulnerability in it. But when you come to somebody and say, "Can you help me?" That's being vulnerable. And people will trust you more because you allow yourself to be vulnerable and open up and allow somebody to help you. But when you constantly got your guard up and don't let nobody help you, or when you're the one that's constantly helping other people. See, because vulnerability strengthens relationships. When you are giving advice, you're not being vulnerable. But when you are the one that's asking for advice, when you are the one that's asking for help, that's being vulnerable. And that builds trust and connection. Another thing to know is how to align your purpose with something that already exists. Instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, align your goals, your why, your purpose with something that's already in motion. There are 16 personalities that you can break down into 4 basic temperaments. The guardian types value safety, security, structure, and routine. If you're a guardian type, you might want to align your goals with that of safety, security, structure, and routine. But if you're somebody like me, an idealist who values freedom, problem solving, going against the rules, blazing a new trail, finding a new way of doing things instead of going with the status quo, then you might want to align your goals with that of an idealist. And when your work is in alignment with your natural personality, when your work is in alignment with your nature, you won't feel so void and empty inside. When you're doing work that you love to do, you call it passion. When you're doing work that you hate to do, you call it stress. But in both scenarios, you're doing work. So align your work with something that you're passionate about, something that's in alignment with your nature. I always say the analogy, fish don't climb trees and squirrels don't live in the sea. Stop trying to be a force, stop trying to be a fish that's trying to force yourself to climb a tree. You're not made to do that. If a fish is trying to force himself to climb a tree, he's going to be unsuccessful and he's going to have self-doubt and low self-esteem and feel like he's a failure because he's trying to force himself to do something that he's not designed to do. But if he come over to the sea where he belongs, he won't feel self-doubt and negativity because he's in alignment with his nature. We are the same way. Oftentimes, us humans, we try to force ourselves to do the status quo, to do what everybody else is doing, to do what somebody else thinks that we should do. And we let other people drive the car of our life. And we don't like where they take us. When instead, we should be driving the car of our own life. And this is why I make these videos about self-awareness. Because I believe that self-awareness is the first domino that's a chain reaction to a series of positive effects, cause and effect. Being self-aware is the cause, and life of happiness is the effect. Now, if you got any value from this video, I have a private community that I call the Curiosity Crew, where we talk about these type of ideas all the time. I highly recommend that you join us in the Curiosity Crew. Click the link down below, or it'll be the first comment pinned down below. And if you want to learn more about how to become the best version of yourself, watch this video right here.